Hello, good afternoon. We're at the Virginia School of Traditional Arts today, and we're going to do a little demonstration. We're going to make us a little fire here, and we're going to make us some bannock. We made this board by splitting down just a piece of firewood that we had. We could have used a log if that's what you had in the wild. And we trimmed it up a little bit with our knife and our draw knife. And just on one side, you just need one side. It's more or less smooth. It's alright. I think it's even better if it's got a few little cracks and crevices in it. Makes your bread stick to it a little bit. But Bannock bread is an old traditional bread that the pioneers and the Indians would have used, and I think it even came over from Scotland, I believe, somewhere like that, Scotland or Ireland. And basically it was real simple bread that you could cook, unleavened bread. Some people will put leavening in it. We may try some of that. We've got a couple of boards today. Our fire pit today is pretty damp still, so we're going to start with a layer of just some debris here. Get it up off of the ground a little bit. And all these are just kind of half dirty sticks I just got up to make us a little bit of a platform here, just to get us up off the wettest part of the ground. Something like that'll do. And today we're going to use some pine needles, pine tags we call them around these parts, but pine needles for our bird's nest. And these are full-length pine tags here, and they're the driest ones I could find. We're just going to lay them down and start our bird's nest. And then these are some that I have just scrunched up as fine as I could scrunch them and caught them on our little other bannock board here. And we're going to see if we can get us a use a Ferricium rod today to catch these on fire. We'll have to give it a shot. Y'all know me, I like to use a ridge pole for my fires. So I've got a little bit of a rod here. We're going to stick over top of our bird's nest. And then I've got a bunch of little sticks today. This pole ain't very straight, so I'm going to try this one. I'm going to break it. Yeah, you may do better. There we go. And now we got a little bark here. That's really good tinder. We'll put some of that down on our bird's nest, and then we'll take some of these finest branches and we'll just start and lay them across here, keeping them on our ridge pole some. We're going to leave us an entry hole up here to put our Ferricium rod in right here. And we got a little bit of bigger stuff here we'll throw up here for the moment. And by making our board today, we have some shavings. These shavings aren't as dry as I would like them to have been, but they would be good tinder as well. This piece of wood wasn't completely dry. It has just been cut, but we can put those down in there. It's been cut for a couple of months, I guess, but definitely not dead dry. So we got some of that down in there to start. Get some little fine stuff if we can. Our pine tags, if they'll start, are going to go fast, so we need something that's going to catch easy and burn easy. So these little shavings off of our board today should do the trick. Put them up underneath here. Alright. So we're going to give this a try. Move these boards out the way. Today I don't know if it's going to be a one strike day. We'll give it a shot. Pine tags are a little bit damp still, I have a feeling. I'm wanting to start. I think I've lost most of my fluffy ones there. I'll go find a little bit more fluffy stuff. Our pine needles seem to be too wet today, so we're going to keep them as our base. But I've got some little bit of grass, is what my preferred method is, so we're going to take that out. And what we're looking for is grass that is dry and still has the seeds on it. That's the best. And it doesn't really matter what kind of grass it is, but we'll take and break that up some. This one there. We'll reserve that on the side. And then we've got some, these are weeds. This is your common everyday weed. And they're from last year. So we're going to break those up too. These have a little moisture in them. I can feel it still, but they're pretty dry. So we're going to try that. There's our kindle and our bird's nest. And we'll see if we can't do a little better maybe. Do a little better maybe. Pine needles won't cut it today. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, pine needles won't quite dry enough today. I'm going to put it out before I get going here. Hold her the wrong stick. Hold her all down on me. You'll burn there in a minute. Now them pine needles coat up, see? Just a little more bigger stuff to put on there. A little bigger stuff. Your fire needs air, so you can't pack it down tight. So we want it to be fluffed up like that. Keep some air under it. We'll file some of this up on here. That fire will go now. We'll wait till that thing burns down a smidge and we'll bring you back when we do our bannock. If the first thing you try to make a friction fire or a ferrocerium rod fire, ferro rod fire with don't work, find something else. There's no shame in that. Go try a different thing. If you got one plan and it don't work, you better know something else. If I can find some grass or some really dry, fluffy stuff like I just showed you there, that's my preferred method. I was trying to do pine needles only today because some places you can't find fluffy stuff is easy, so we were trying to do just some pine needles. But as you can see, that's a region, that's the pine needles burning right there in those small pieces of wood there. So we're going to throw those on a bigger chunk here so it'll catch up. And she's warm today, so I'm gonna back up just a smidge and let that thing burn. Alright, we got our bannock boards here. We'll wipe them off a little bit. We just carved them out so the wood is clean. We're going to use those as kind of a little bit of a cutting board. We got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. This is unleavened flour, so we can make unleavened bannock bread, which is kind of the traditional, but I think we're going to cheat a little bit today since we've got some baking powder. We're going to put us a little bit of that in here. And so we got us a tablespoon. We'll put us I don't know, that much in there, whatever that is, tablespoon I guess. And baking powder. And we got some salt. Now salt is a traditional ingredient in bannock bread, so you know, they usually had salt if they were traveling. Oop, that's too much salt. So we're gonna save some of that salt. We'll put some back in our container. There we go. Alright, so we got, I don't know, half a tablespoon of salt looks like, a big teaspoon. Anyhow, I need to go crazy with the salt, but anyway, we're gonna stir that up dry. Some people will put fruit and different whatever they could find what they put in this to make it be a little bit more something. But the traditional is no leavening and just basically 2 or 3 ingredients, either 2 ingredients, flour and water, or flour, water, and salt. But since we had a little baking powder, we're going to use that. And now I'm going to put a little bit of this flour in my cup so that I can work this without getting it on my hands at the end. So we're going to save that and cut back a little bit. And now what we want is it's not a wet dough, but wet enough to where to stick to our board. So we're going to mix this up just with some water. You can use creek water if that suits you, but I got bottled water today. We're staying at home for the Corona deal, so not out in the woods today. We're just going to mix this up. Easier to add more water than take it away, particularly since we got limited flour. We just want this to come together. That's looking a little bit dry, so we're going to stick a little bit more water in here, just a little though. Alright. And we want it all to come together off of our bowl. See, just a little bit of flour down in there yet. We're going to put just a teeny bit of more water. Just a teeny bit. Like that. And our fire's cooking down good. We're going to have a good cooking fire in a minute. We're right on time with this. Alright. So basically there's our dough. And we're going to cut it in half. We got 2 boards. Get the rest of that half, I guess. And I'm going to get a little flour here. Put on my hands. On one hand anyway. Put on the top of this so we can work it without making it too sticky on us. We want to mash that down, more or less kneading it a little bit at this point. Getting it all incorporated. And then we don't want the flour on our board because that'll make it not stick. And then we're just going to take it on our board here and make it stick to the board as best we can. There we go. And if you've got it wet enough, it should stick to that board no problem. The trick is getting it wet enough and not so wet it sticks to you all the time. And we're just going to try to make it the same thickness, something like that. Same thickness all the way across. No thin and thick spots, that'll be an issue. If it's thick spots it won't cook and thin spots may burn. Alright, so we got that one fixed. And so we're going to work on this next part. Get it up in our bowl here. And actually put just a little flour on our hands. And, a little flour on this. Kind of roll it. And with this being leavened, this is going to be more biscuity than probably the traditional Bannock bread. But I think that'll do. Check off the flour on that one. Put them up here. Mash them a little bit. And I can feel it feeling sticky on my finger, so that's when I turn it over and stick it to the board. Now we're going to need a little more flour on this side. Keep it from sticking to our hand. Alright. And so there's our two boards with our bread on it. And this is not like mortar. It doesn't have to stick upside down. It's just got to stick on our board so it don't fall off. And we don't lay this on the fire. We lay it beside the fire with the fire in the middle, well, on one side, and leave the board up against something, or rocks, or in our case here, probably our steaks on our fire set there. And we just got just a little bit of flour left. We could probably do a little bit more. Might try that. Do us a little bit more and see if we can get it to stick without sticking to us. Probably not. But we'll give it a shot. Just a little bit more water. And that is looking too wet. That's what too wet looks like. That's not going to stick to the board or us, I don't think. Or to the board anyway. We can try her. We'll stick her on this end of this board and see if we can smash that with our spoon. See what that does. Just smash her up with our spoon. Like I said, that's just a little bit too much water. But I think it might cook anyway. We'll see what that looks like. We're doing a little experiment today with our Bannock bread. So that's our Bannock bread. And now we're going to just arrange our fire a little bit so we got some coals. And we'll lean this up against the block here and see how long it takes it to cook. I'm expecting maybe, depends on how hot our fire gets, but maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We'll just see. Down here a little bit. And what we're going to look for is hopefully a place out of the smoke, but where we can't hold our hand very long. Like right in there feels like about right. And so I'm going to set our board over here like that. I like it to turn that way a smidge myself. But we'll see about that. I'll find something to stick behind it. That ought to do. And then this one, we may put over here a little bit farther away. Let's see what we can get. Right there's feeling about right. If we don't burn our board up. Just moved my Bannock boards around a little closer, built the fire up a little higher. Hopefully it'll cook a little bit. They've been in that position maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Gonna be that much longer, or at least that much longer to do anything, I think. We'll bring you back, check them at that point. Well, as you can see, that one's starting to cook some, but I think we're setting our board on fire. So we're gonna move him back just a smidge, but see the brown, that's what we're looking for. We just want it all the way up. Even this one's rising, look at it puffed up. All right, we'll let her go another few minutes. Been another few minutes, we're just going to turn the boards over, end for end. See if we can get them to bake more. And this one's hardening up and starting to brown, so we're going to turn them over end for end. And with that metal behind him, you can really feel the heat on that one, so he's cooking both sides probably. And this one turning over is a little more complicated because he's got dough right up to the edge. We'll turn him over any which way. Get him out to fire probably. We'll turn him over and let him go a few more minutes. He's looking pretty good on both ends, so I turned him over in the middle a little bit and see if we can brown him in the middle some, and we're gonna try that one shortly. That's looking pretty good. Alright, that one's looking done to me. It looks pretty brown, and they tell me if you tap on it and it sounds hollow, it's done. So we're going to take him off the fire and check him out. Get y'all in the frame here. We'll tap on it. Sounds hollow. So let's check him out. I might let him cool a minute because I don't know if I can hold him when it's being hot. See if we can pull him piece off there. Look at that. And you see it in there? Let's see what that tastes like. Tastes like bread. Tastes good. It's certainly done. What's stuck to the board is a little less done, but it's not raw. It's just soft. But this outside's crunchy. As I suspected, a little salty. We put a little more salt in it than I would anticipate it, but still good, still edible. So when y'all make y'all's, focus on your salt a little bit more than I did. Don't get excited. But certainly good. And so we're going to call this one a done one. Take this in and enjoy it. I made 2 of them, my wife and I. She's never had any before, so we're going to take them in there and give them a whirl and see what she thinks. If you've liked what you've seen with the Bannock bread and the other things we did today, appreciate you hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and leave a comment if you got a better or different way of doing this. I'd love to hear it. We've hit 10 subscribers now, so we're going to probably give away something. I'll find us a little something to give away, and so be looking in your subscriber things for who won that, and we may make a video of us sending it off. All right. Thank you.